At one point, throwing paint at buildings, smearing buildings was a big thing. A bitter cold January day, the social science building is smeared. Well, actually, that one bothers me a bit because, among other things, I know somebody's going to be out there cleaning it off. And the person who's going to be cleaning it off, it's going to be one of the custodial workers. Well, it really ticks me off. So here's, friends of all the world, bringers of virtue and so on. I mean, they're smearing the building. I asked them, one of them, I said, why don't you just clean it off? I said, oh, no, that's not for us. Sure enough, custodial workers, they had to go out on a bitter cold day and they had to clean off the building. Another scene, we're out kind of smashing up the university, and the custodial workers on this occasion, they pull out chairs and they line up the chairs in front of some big glass windows in front of the social science building, and they sit down and watch. And I asked them, I said, what do you think about that? And they said, we pay for that. Well, it struck to me as a hard, unassailable truth. Yes, my sense was, how come you know that, and how come students at one of the world's best universities, don't know that? So, as you can see and as you can sense, I'd say the dynamic of the whole process was one that I think kind of turned off its sympathizers and, caused them to pull back. And I think gradually the movement, eroded its supporters. And in many ways, I would say it's self-destructed. Some of those who participated, also got turned off by it and kind of retreated. Some of the leaders, as you know, they, move all the way as, two famous figures who are, I guess, now Reaganite Republicans and, leaders of the movement and, authors of books and critiques and so on and so forth. I was talking to a fellow who was in a class of mine back at Wisconsin, and I asked him about the guy who was sitting next to me, as there were two prominent leaders on the left there, and I asked him about the fellow who was sitting next to him, whatever happened to him? He said, oh. And he filled me in on him. As actually, they were both later on in New York, and they were both later somewhere other connected. I think there was a Weatherman Underground, and I don't know, at one point, Cambodian invasion, there was talk about going off and organizing guerrilla movements in the Catskills or something like that. And it was all very serious talk. Where is he now? He's, he went out to Los Angeles. He worked as an agent. He's now a vice president of Warner Brothers, I believe. Now, I don't know, we get kind of symptomatic cases of that sort. I would say everybody who was in and around the movement can cite you half a dozen cases of that sort. Another really arch leader, just an extraordinary, I would say almost ferocious creature. He later surfaces, I think it was with Holiday Inn, he was responsible for the decision not to put a glass of water on the tables in the dining room, thus saving themselves thousands of dollars per year.